Hi, I'm Mr. Huber, and in this video I would like to talk about problem 2. In problem 1, you looked at functions of this type, ax squared. Well, that's true. 1x squared, 2x squared, a half x squared, minus 1x squared, minus 2x squared, and minus a half x squared. Always you had this coefficient a in front of it. So what happens if a is greater than 0 or a is less than 0? Well, if a is greater than 0, well, for 1, 2, and a half, we always had a happy parabola. So if the coefficient, let's start with this one, is positive 1, here a half, and here 2, there were always happy parabolas. Whereas with negative numbers in front of it, always sad parabolas. Okay, so a greater than 0, happy parabola, and a less than 0, sad parabola. Okay, so what happens if a is greater than 1? Well, look, we had the one here with 1. We had one where the coefficient is a half, and we had one where the coefficient is greater than 1, namely 2. So when it's greater than 1, it seems to stretch vertically. Okay, it's a vertical stretch. So you multiply everything by 2. So a greater than 1, happy parabola, and a vertical stretch. So it's a vertical stretch. You don't have to learn this by heart because it's just obvious. Now, what happens if a is greater than 0 but less than 1? Okay, well, if it's greater than 0, it must be a happy parabola. Happy parabola. But if it's less than 1, look, here we had the one where the coefficient was exactly 1. We had an exercise where the coefficient was 2, it was a vertical stretch. And when the coefficient is less than 1, between 0 and 1, it's happy, but well, it's a vertical shrink. So now a vertical shrink and a vertical shrink. So what happens if a is less than minus 1? Look, if it's less than minus 1, it's obviously a sad parabola because it's less than 0. As less than minus 1, it's a sad parabola because it's obviously less than 0, so it must be a sad parabola. And if it's less than minus 1, look, here it was exactly minus 1, sad parabola. Here it was minus a half, that's not less than minus 1. But this one was less than minus 1. So everything was multiplied by minus 2. Well, minus 2 is obviously less than minus 1. So everything is stretched apart, multiplied by minus 2. So it's a sad parabola and a vertical stretch. Because everything is stretched apart. For example, times minus 2, times minus 3, times minus 4. And now the last one, what happens if it's between minus 1 and 0? Well, less than 0 means sad parabola. Okay, sad parabola. That's clear. And, well, you guessed it, a vertical shrink. Why is that? Look. This one is between 0 and -1. -1/2 is between 0 and -1. And everything had to be multiplied by -1/2, which halved the values. Okay, but when you compare it with this one, look, at -3 you get -9 here, and here at -3 you get -4.5. So it's a vertical shrink because everything was divided by 2. I hope it wasn't too difficult. See you in the next one.